Alright, we are out test driving today. Jeep, backwards in there. I don't know if it's going to be unreversed in the camera, but it's reversed in the looking now. But this is a Grand Cherokee. I think this is a 50th anniversary or something model, so similar to the S-Limited that I've got on my shortlist. I've driven the old Touareg, driven the Petrol, and yeah, the list is down to 3 and ticking off one on the box here. So let's go have a look through the car. So this is the Jeep Grand Cherokee. This is a V6 diesel model. It's not the S-Limited with the V8, but it drives just fine. Plenty of tack. Look at that massive sunroof there, and look at this. Petrol owners, eat your heart out. Look at that. No wood grain in this. Technology from the current era. Even got DAB as well as all your Apple CarPlay stuff if my phone was connected, but that is streets ahead of a lot of other stuff out there. You got memory for your electric seats, so both front passenger seats are electric. Got a couple of USB ports down there. Got 12-volt charging there. Got another one right there. Your four-wheel drive select mode for when you want to go off-roading, which I ain't ever going to do anyway. But dash is all there. Really nice clear dash display and plenty of options to go through. There's heaps of stuff on this. I don't even know how to go through half of this stuff. So there is, if you go into old off-road pages here, have a look at that. You get all the dials up saying your trans temp, coolant temp, oil temp. So got some real data stuff going on there. All this kind of stuff, all your U-boot pitch and roll for actual four-wheel drivers. This is a really killer infotainment system. It's an extremely comfortable car too. It's an SUV and it's driving like a car. So, you know, the number one thing I was talking about when I was looking to buy the new car was I've come out of either Territory and I've come out of the Commodore for so long, but basically over a decade between both cars, and I want to replace it with something that can tow 3.5 ton, preferably have a petrol V8, but also still drive somewhat like a Commodore. And the Petrol just fails in that because it's not designed for that. So I'm not saying the Petrol drives bad or is a bad car, you know, but it's a truck. It's more of a truck and less of a car. And after driving the Touareg and after driving this Grand Cherokee, the Petrol is now by far and away distant third in terms of the cars I want. Also, I did call Nissan during the week anyway, and they confirmed that if I was to order Petrol now, I would be lucky to get it by June 2022. So if I need a car now, again, the Petrol's sort of out. Volkswagen, I think the Touareg's about a 3-month wait, and I think these things are almost in stock depending on color and package level you want anyway. So as you can see, all the seats are killer. It's all electric. It's a really nice car. You got your big huge sunroof up there. It drives really nice. The only points I don't like so far, I've only driven it for a little bit, but the only one is probably down here. You're really cramped this. So there's a push brake for your handbrake, and trying to put my big size 13 hoofs in here, if I'll put the foot brake out the way, there's not actually a footrest down there. So once I try and put my foot down there, and you see I've got my other foot on the brake, you know, my feet are sort of almost touching themselves. The tunnel seems actually a bit narrow, so obviously it's got a big 8-speed ZF, but that's probably the only knock on it at the moment. But yeah, just like the Commodore, push button start. You got to get used to, obviously, American car. The Euro's the same as this, where all the controls are on the left, but that's easy enough to get a control of. But yeah, all the climate, this connecting system, the U connector, whatever they call it, and this head-up display, this display is really, really great. So that is probably the only other thing, that Freudian slip sort of thing that I do miss from the Commodore, and that is there is no heads-up display. I've found that to be really touch great. Wood, I haven't actually got a speeding fine in since I've owned the Commodore. Definitely, I've never got a speeding fine on the Commodore. I actually put that down to the heads-up display being on the screen the whole time, so I don't take my eyes off the road. I'm always looking out the front of the car, and I can always see how fast it's going. So that's really helpful. So I'm going to miss that, because in any car that I want, that I've looked at, Petrol and all that, and they don't have it anymore. So I'm not sure why it's so hard to get that as an option in cars, when a $40,000 Commodore from 10 years ago had it in there. So Don't know if the new model, it's a new model of this coming out later this year, but I want the Petrol V8. I sort of need it now, so this is probably going to be it. Let's take a quick look on the outside of it. So in terms of styling, I actually don't mind the Grand Cherokee. I've always seen them on the road, especially the S-Limited or the SRT, and they look pretty good with the blacked out trim and stuff. So I've always been, I haven't mind. I mean, they've been around a fair while and that, but I think the S-Limited's got like 20-inch rims and stuff, and if you see the guards, it sort of looks a bit like the the 300 series Toyota that's coming out now in 2022 has a bit of that look about it. So they're a pretty good looking car. So, and I've seen guys, I think they slightly tint the rear brake lights and stuff, and obviously you've got the privacy glass, which means they actually look pretty VIP, pretty gangster. They're pretty dark in the tint the front maybe to match a bit and get it dark, and they're I think they're a pretty decent looking car. Sorry, any wind and road noise here and that, but difference over like the SRT and the S-Limited. I think the S-Limited's got only the single exhaust as well. I don't think they've got dual exhaust in the S-Limited. This is the V6 model as well, but it's not that. But so it doesn't have that, but it's a pretty decent looking bus. You know, I wouldn't be ashamed to have that in the driveway. I mean, you know, the Gen 5 face of the Patrol looks pretty good. The Gen 4 before it looked pretty not so good. But I'd say in the looks department, this and the Patrol pretty much line astern. Yeah, and the Touareg's probably just a bit of a Euro bus. It's a bit, you know, a lot of cars these days are a bit uninspired. They look a bit plain or whatever. So I think this looks pretty aggressive. Maybe take an inch or two out of the ride height. What do you think? All right, so that is the Jeep Grand Cherokee. What do you think? Do you like the look of it? Do you like the tech in it? Have you driven one? Have you owned one? What's your experience with this thing? Jeep's got a 5-year warranty now these days. They've probably listened to their customers a fair bit more. There was a lot of hoo-ha around these things quite a while ago around their reliability and warranty and that kind of stuff, but I know a fair few people actually own these, and they've all said that they love them, and their next car will also be a Grand Cherokee. So yeah, if you've owned not just a Jeep, if you owned a Grand Cherokee, put something in the comments below. Tell me what you think about it, and what you like and what you don't like, and maybe what I need to look out for, yeah, if I look to buy one. All right, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Anyone that's still watching, if anyone wants to buy a VF Commodore in about August, I'm going to have one available. Hit me up.